Greetings, grade 5. So we're back again talking about science. Now, this topic is on food chains and food webs. Now, food chains, what are they? Now, we know that all organisms, they need energy. Now, the movement of energy from one organism to another can be shown within a food chain. Isn't that interesting? Now, a food chain, it follows a single path where animals discover food. Remember, the word single means what? Can anybody guess? It means one. A food chain follows a single path where animals discover food. Here's an example of the food chain of an owl. The yellow rectangular boxes at the bottom, we're going to be talking about those a little later. So the plant in the rectangular box, it's labeled producer. We're going to be talking about producers a little later inside our content videos in part 2 of food webs and food chains. We will also be talking about herbivores, omnivores, and carnivores, and consumers, and the different type of consumers in part 2 of food webs and food chains. But this is the food chain of an owl. Firstly, we have our flower, and the insect eats the flower to get its energy. The mouse then eats the insect to get their energy, and the owl eats the mouse for his energy. So this path shows the way the animals discover their food. The owl discovers the mouse, who discovers the insect, who discovers the flowers in order to give themselves energy. So if the insect doesn't get energy from the flowers, then it will die and the mouse wouldn't be able to eat the insect. And if the mouse doesn't eat the insect, it will become weak. And if the owl doesn't eat the mouse, it will become weak. And all organisms need their energy. You need food for your energy to keep you active and strong. I need food to keep me active and strong. We all need food to keep us active and strong. And so does any other organism, any other marine animal, any other land animal. We all need energy. So the food chain shows a single path where animals discovers their food. A food chain follows a single path where animals discover their food. Now let's talk about food webs. A food web shows the overlapping of food chains in an ecosystem. Who would have thought? A food web, a food chain. A food web shows different paths where animals and plants are connected. So a food web is showing us how food chains are connected to each other. Other animals and organisms are connected. Like one animal, remember the food chain of an owl that we just looked at? Well, a food web, we can have that food chain and many other food chains, and all of those food chains can connect to each organism in all. It also shows more clearly how energy moves. Some energy is lost each time energy passes from one organism to another. So here we see an example of a food web. We see, as you can see, there's multiple food chains in this food web. We have producers and we have other consumers, and everybody is connected. You will see the connection with the colors of the lines and the arrows that are going from organism to organism. Now, food webs and food chains. Here is the difference. A food web shows a single path where an organism discovers their food. And a food web, which is on your left of the screen, it shows the overlapping of food chains. That is all. Now we see producers at the bottom of the food web and everything else that eats the producers and gets energy from the producers, and then the things that eat the producers. Let's start with the corn. We have the grasshopper eats the corn, and the grasshopper can get eaten by the frog and the rat, and the rat can get eaten by the wolf, the eagle, or the snake. The snake can get eaten from the eagle. The rat gets eaten from the eagle, and that food chain stops there. The rat can get eaten by the wolf, and the wolf can get eaten by the eagle. That's an example of a food web even by itself. So this is the end of part 1 of food web and food chain. So see you later, grade 5. We'll be back here for part 2 of our content video, okay?